sports show on your champions, Sports Radio Brilla FM. In the interview room this morning, we have Coach Ademi Anthony of Whitcomb FC Switzerland. Coach, it's been a while. Welcome to the interview room with Brilla FM.
Thanks for having me once again, Mr. Emmanuel, and it's great to be here in Brilla FM.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for agreeing to spend time with us. And a lot has happened since the last time we spoke. I think the last time we spoke was during the African Cup of Nations. But now we have the Euros ongoing, and we've also had a couple of World Cup qualifiers where the Super Eagles took on the Bafana of South Africa, and also played Genetro-led Benin Republic and a couple of other teams as well. It wasn't a very good start, and also it hasn't been a very good run of qualifiers as well. So the Super Eagles will still have to redeem themselves, and of course, in order to better their chances of qualification. But that being said, Coach, the grouping for the qualifiers for the African Cup of Nations is out. We still have Benin to play, and also Rwanda and Libya, the Mediterranean Knights of Libya to play. What do you make of our chances, looking at how disappointing we've been in recent history?
For me, I think qualifying for the Nations Cup, also for the World Cup, I think we still have a chance. We have a chance to qualify for the World Cup. But first and foremost, what is very important now is that everyone should put their hand on the decks, go back to the drawing book, make everything possible to the right person that have the right mentality to bring the right tactical and technical approach for the team, and also to make sure he can be able to manage the player in and out of the field, and the coach that also knows what he wants, the ability to deliver it, and the ability to build a solid team out of a group of players, and also to have the ability to take away the pressure from every player. Because right now, the boys now, they will be nervous. There will be a lot of pressure from fans, from the players themselves, for the coach, for them to deliver. So a good coach that can take away pressure from them and to replace it with self-confidence for them to be able to take every match as it comes. Then it can give them the edge to have the positive result they needed against every opposition they're going to meet during the World Cup qualifying.
Absolutely. And one of the very sad stories, because I know the last time we spoke, you were very confident of home-based players, and you also supported the choice of a local-based coach, I should say. But with what has happened between the NFF, Coach Finidi George, Victor Osimhen, and all of the results that he had to, the results of the Super Eagles under his reign as a coach, do you think he deserved a little bit of time, and do you think we were too quick to let go of him? And also, when it comes to local coaches, do we have a culture of not having so much confidence in them?
To be honest with you, we hold glamour for indigenous coach, which is something I still stand for. If it's possible, they should look inward and look for another indigenous coach that's capable to deliver the right result and mentality in the group of players we have as a professional. Because everyone have to be a professional at this time of the tournament, which we are in a tight corner. But what Finidi has done is not so. For me, the two friendly matches, when you look at it against Ghana and Mali, you think Finidi has the capacity to deliver the right result. But unfortunately, when it came to play against the right opponents for the World Cup qualify, he could not get his reading, he could not get his tactical aspect and technical aspect right. Him and his coaching his crew. And I think for the NFF to decide on that situation, I think it's just because for the benefit, for the betterment of the France, and for Nigeria itself, because now they know that if we continue this way, if you like, maybe we may not qualify. That's why they think they have to go and get under expertise. But at the same time, I said I still go against Finidi one way or the other. That if I'm in his shoes, I could have remain as an assistant coach from onset, instead of allowing people to push me to take the head coach position. And unfortunately, those who push him now are not behind him when the crowd and the fans are castigating him. I think Finidi also make the right choice by stepping down because nobody will want to take that demotion. When you are the head coach, so suddenly they want to demote you to the assistant coach. It will just be it will be an insult to your dignity and your integrity.
Okay, coach. Away from the home scene now, let's go to Europe. Yesterday we saw Portugal get knocked out of the Euros, and a lot of pundits have said that it's high time that Portugal moved away from the era of Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe. What do you make of that? A lot of people have even blamed the exit of Portugal from the tournament on him as well, as someone who has not allowed the younger generation to take their opportunities.
My own general assessment in this game is just all about. I think if I look into the tournament, Portugal has not done badly from the onset of from their first game. But I think the coach himself did not manage the team very well, according to what you just said. As a good coach who has experience as an international for international matches, I think in this stage, I think he should have should have used Ronaldo to be his talisman, which is Joker, like the way Cameroon did in Italian 90, who they bring it to Roger Miller after when things is not going well or some minutes before the end of the game that he can be able to play his own part. But you can see all the matches the Portuguese they played. He played Ronaldo for 90 minutes. You cannot see much impact of Ronaldo. You can see without the ball, he's not doing much work. With the ball, he has less contact with the ball. So I think the coach himself, I think, is to be blamed. But unfortunately, we say they lost 2 penalty, but penalty is anybody's game. But I think if he has given a young player that is more vibrant, more energized, a chance to take that position of Ronaldo. I think Portugal, their all front could have been more dangerous than the way he used to what we saw yesterday against France. But unfortunately, I think if the coach go back to his drawing board, he will know that he have done a mistake. But at the same time, I think why he did that is that he wants to control the dressing room. He knows that then Ronaldo is not so easy to handle. If you put him on the bench, maybe the dressing room will not be at peace, and he wants the dressing room to be at peace. That is why I think he gave him the chance to lead the team from onset. And I think at the end of the day, it is not the best decision.
Absolutely. Now we saw AFCON, and also we are seeing Euros. In terms of organization and in terms of officiating, where would you place these two tournaments? So far, in the Euros, we've seen a couple of controversial calls, especially with the English referees, the likes of Anthony Taylor and also Michael Oliver. But when you look at both tournaments, Euros and the AFCON, where would you place these two tournaments in terms of officiation? We understand that as regards organization, I mean, the Europeans are up there, but where would you place these two tournaments? Considering everything, the play itself, the officiating rather, and how the whole tournament panned out. Though the Euros is still on now, but where would you place it? If you have to juxtapose both tournaments, or on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place both tournaments?
The only way I can place the Euro against the over the AFCON is when you look at the quality of football, playing football, and the surface of the pitch they use, the infrastructure, the fans that come to watch the match is a different glamour, is a different atmosphere compared to AFCON. But when we want to talk about the referee aspect, you can see that even the European they give a recommendation to the African the African Nations Cup, because the referee they did very very well without VAR. You see that they control the game. There is no controversial, no complaint from any country against the referee. Everybody accepts the decision of the referee because the referee they were outstanding and so disciplined, so professional in carrying out their obligation. But if you look at this Euro, like what you said, you can see the English referee. They come again with the same mentality they used to do in the Premier League. They brought it to the European, the Euro 2024 tournament that is ongoing now. You can see that there's a lot of controversy, there's a lot of mistake. They don't even listen to the VAR to go and check, like the penalty, the France penalty. Yeah, yesterday, but they waive it. They waive the penalty because they believe if they score that goal, the game has come to an end. They try to control the game But at the same time, you don't put sentiment when you are officiating a match of this caliber, because at the end of the day, it may backfire to the people that have the advantage and give it to the become another disadvantage to them.
All right, coach. Going back to that game, the game between Spain and the host. In your opinion, assuming that happens to your team, in your opinion, do you consider that a penalty?
100% is a penalty, because the hand was not in the body of the opponent. He is trying to bring back the hand to his body. The moment that second, that delay, the ball touches his hand in the penalty zone, and I think there is no negotiation or discussion about that. It's a penalty, and if the referee decided not to do that because of the situation of the game in that moment. But that's why I said in football it's all about risk. If there's no penalty, there's no mistake, there's no goal. So if someone has this opportunity, you just have to give them the opportunity and let them benefit from their effort. Unfortunately, the home side could not get what belonged to them, and that at the end of the day, that pay off to the Spaniard, and the Spaniards scored the diving goal, and then they carried the day.
Absolutely. Now, coach, let's look at technology in sports, with the focus on football now, rather. Has this really improved the game, or it has created more controversies? In the past, yes, for a lot of reasons. The reason there was the clamor for, use of technology in making certain decisions and all of that was because of, you recall the Lampard's goal that was disallowed at the I think it was 2010 World Cup, if I'm correct now, and a couple of other things that brought about the goal line technology. Now there's the VAR that we are gradually getting used to. Do you think all of these like introduction of technologies or advancement of technology in the game, do you think it's improved the game massively, or you think it's taken the game backwards and it's made the game a little bit softer than ordinarily it's expected to be? Because defenders are more careful now. Attackers want to take the risk in the box, but then defenders do not want, because you're just one mistake away from going to the VAR and changing the dynamics of the game for your team. So would you say that technology has really improved the game greatly, or it has weakened the sports, football?
In my own perspective, I think the technology, the reason they brought it there is to minimize error, and I think the technology has done a fantastic job. But the technology cannot decide on its own. There is people operating the technology, and if the people refuse to do the right thing, definitely it will look like the technology has been partial. The technology has not done the right job.
Basically, the application has been the challenge.
Yes, so the application from the people who have to carry out the obligation, which is the referees and the other referees in the indoor, that who saw where they look the camera, those who have the VRA, they are the ones to, and the referee himself that as the commander of the match, who is in the center of the field, who can also go and look for the review. But unfortunately, when the referee refused to go, then the other referee indoor, they will take the decision. They will just tell him, okay, you can carry on. So for me, technology, I think it has improved from football to another standard, because when there was no technology, there was a lot of error. But now I think the error now is limits to what it used to be before. But I just hope that those that's involved, that is using technology, they can do better. They should try and do better, and to be a professional.
All right, absolutely. Now let's end on the home front again. You saw the conclusion of the. I don't know if you saw it, but then the NPFL was concluded a couple of weeks ago. Enugu Rangers Flying and Telopsue emerged as winners, but then Remo Stars came second. But then again, one downside to all of this is that we saw a couple of privately owned clubs get relegated. Okay, so do you think that in itself is a negative for the league? Because if privately owned clubs, we are clamoring for a move away from government-owned ownership to private ownership. But then if privately owned clubs are not able to stay back in the league, how much of a challenge is this? We saw Doma United struggle. They started really well last season, but then now they're in the NNL. Sporting Lagos, a lot of investments went in there, a lot of publicity also went in there, but they're nowhere anymore. Two privately owned clubs gone. Do you think that this is bad for the NPF, especially when you look at where we want to be, where we want to go to, I don't think it is sustainable having government ownership. But when the privately owned clubs cannot stay in the league, how much of a challenge is this?
Uh, let's see. Football is a three result game. Whether you win, you draw, or you lose.
Absolutely.
When we're talking about the private owner and the government owner, it is not the fault of the government owner. When you are a private owner, you try to improve the Nigerian Premier NPFL by coming in to spend a lot of money into the system. But you also have to know that you're going to face a lot of challenges. The challenges are minor, which as the first and foremost is the salary you are paying to the players. Because I want to believe that the salary the governor clubs will be paying is more higher than the private club. That's 100%. And also the government club, I think some of them have also the financial buoyance to take their players by flight, not by road. That's another thing to consider because traveling from long distance road to play a match in 2 days' time, it can also exhaust the player, and it also mentally, also physically, also it can also be a barrier to the every individual player quality to bring out the best quality of the field. I think what's went wrong right now. In the for the club owners right now is this. I will just say maybe it's just about the team management, and also to try to increase their wages, and also try to bring enough of professional players into their team, because I can see that the Enugu Rangers they spend a lot of money. If you see the Enugu Rangers, they travel all their away matches. They travel by air. If you see the way they dress more professionally. If they have wages, if they get their wages at the right time, all these things coupled to brings a positive or negative mentality to players. When players are going for match, they won last match, you have not given them 3 matches bonus, or their salary will delay for 2-3 months. All these things is going to affect the players mental system. So I think that those things affect those club ownership. But at the same time, we still pray that we can get a lot of more club ownership that can take over from the government owned club, so that we can only have the club ownership in the Premier League. Then we know that it's club ownership and club ownership playing against each other. But when the government is still there, definitely the government that mean business, that puts its own politics into the system, that ready to finance the team, like what Rivers United do last 2 seasons. You can see how the president pour more money for the team and motivate them. They went to CAF Champions League, and they even try to the extent that they go to the next round, that the other people are profiting from today. So it's sad to see both club ownership going back to NNL, but at the same time, I think they have learned their lesson. When they come back to NPFL, I think now they will see it right. They know what to do, because I know that in Nigerian football, we all knows what occur behind the closed door.
Okay, coach. You've made vital points, but then do you think that the environment, the NPFL environment, and the Nigerian football environment generally is too toxic for the private sector or the privately owned club to actually exist well, stay well, or exist well, or live well, however you want to put it? Is it too toxic for the privately owned clubs to stay? I know some of the things you highlighted actually are key. If a club needs to stay within a league and prosper the way it should, then some of those things are key. The players needs to be taken care of. I don't think any establishments will grow if the members of staff are not really well taken care of. But do you think the environment is too toxic, and that's why not many privately owned clubs succeed in the NPFL? Because we can go way back. There used to be Gabros, there used to be Giwa FC, there used to be Gabros later became Ifanyoba because it was bought by the senator. But that now is defunct. We used to see Van Dreza. In fact, the club has been disbanded now, or something like that. What is that thing that makes it difficult for privately owned football clubs in Nigeria to succeed? Is it that the environment is too toxic?
If you say the environment is too toxic, I will say it's part of it. It's part of it, but that is not the major issue. Like I said before, that can also affect. But the major issue is, players. Players are they try to be professionals, but when the private owners are not professional enough to pay them their salary in due time, and some of them, even some of the players, it makes it more, they makes their own team more difficult for their own team. Some players sell matches. Some players will not give 100%. Some players make Niger bets, and they wish the club owner will not know why they lose some kind of, so they concede some kind of a goal that are not supposed to be conceded. We see that also in Europe, that they sell match. Players do sell match. It's not about the NPFL alone. It's also individual player who are not happy with the way the club owners are treating them, because if the money is not coming, definitely the player, they will be looking for one way or the other to survive. So that is the mentality we have to eradicate in this our Premier League. NPFL and the FA, they have to stand on one thing. When they say minimum wage is so, they have to stand with it, that every club owner and the government club owner, government club, they have to pay that money, not to sign two contracts like what we used to hear. They will give you two contracts. One will be official, the other one will be duplicate between the club. You say you sign 150,000 for monthly wages. In the end of the day, you are paying them 60,000 naira. Which the players, they know themselves, and when the club call for them, the club that, like, okay, let's say for example, the last 4 matches in the Premier League and the NPFL, we saw how Sporting struggle. Sporting has been doing well, but the last 4 matches, how come they at home they play draw, they lose at home, and they lose the last match? They needed to win to stand to remain in the league. If you go in deeply into that matches, the last 4 matches they played, you see that if it is not involved from players, it can also involve from the officials. From some of the officials, not only the Sporting, even them, the team that did not do well, and the one that escaped relegation. If you dig deep into all the system, you know that they play their game very, very, very well as in the other side of unprofessional. But what can you do when the system is so? They say when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? So the system has been sold, and we have to. It's all over. It's all over the world. But they are not so. It's not so obvious the way it used to be in our Nigerian Premier League.
Thank you so much, Coach Adeyemi Anthony, for speaking to Brilla this morning. It's a pleasure to always talk with you.
It's a pleasure to be here once again. Thank you so much for having me, and greetings to all Nigeria Billiard FM fans.
Thank you so much. They were here, and they will also, of course, exchange theirs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Speak to you next time.
Thank you very much for having me. Bye for now.
Thank you.